Hey guys, this is Jacob Ballard, Movie-holics Anonymous, with my latest review of Dunkirk, which I finally got to go see last week. The latest film from writer-director Christopher Nolan, one of my favorite directors of all time. And I believe that Dunkirk is a great example of how he's an exceptional filmmaker and how he just doesn't make movies like anyone else does. I really enjoyed Dunkirk a lot. I think that it was really surprising that it worked as well as it did when I heard that the characters were not going to be as well developed as in certain other war movies, and that they were just very simple characters and it was more of a visual story. I thought to myself, how am I going to connect with this story? But when I watched the final film, I had no problem with any of the characters. I do think that they could have been I cared about them just enough to get through everything, and I thought that the suspense was masterfully built up by Christopher Nolan, and that he had so many great set pieces and the cinematography was gorgeous, and it was just amazing how he kept the film constantly going and kept it constantly in non-stop just war suspense and showing the hellaciousness of war without gore. There's no really super bloody scene in this movie, but this movie really does show you what it's like to be in a war to a point, and it shows how these people struggle just for the hope of escaping so they can survive, because they're stuck in a terrible situation. They're surrounded by their enemies and they're just trying to get out, and it's like nonstop, always something going wrong, and it's just an eye-opening experience for sure. And it's got a great score from Hans Zimmer, which really helps establish the tension even more, so like it amplifies the tension to a level way above what you can imagine. It felt like you're watching Mad Max Fury Road if Mad Max Fury Road was a realistic war movie, because it's nonstop entertainment, it's nonstop engaging, it's nonstop characters that say very few lines of dialogue that you connect with and care about, and you want them to survive. And I love the fact that it's not a completely Hollywood ending. There are parts of it that are, I would say some parts are wrapped up neatly in a bow and other parts are not. And I feel like that was really well done to do that. And I felt like the cast was really great in their roles. They didn't do anything that I don't think any of the cast deserves an Oscar for their performances, but I cared about them. And Christopher Nolan throughout this entire film just carried this whole film. And so as a whole, I'd have to give Dunkirk 5 out of 5, because it was entertaining from start to finish. It is a just visual masterpiece, and I really enjoyed this movie, and I think that's worth seeing in theaters, and I think it's worth owning on Blu-ray and DVD and digital. And so those are my thoughts on Dunkirk. Did you see Dunkirk? Did you enjoy it? What do you think of this review? Let me know in the comments below. Until the next video, guys. Talk to you then.